Player 4 Podcast's first t-shirt is now on sale at tpublic.com. Ever wonder what it takes to make a good podcast? We've already done the math for you and put it on a t-shirt. Visit our storefront at tpublic.com/user/P4podcast and get yours today. That's tpublic.com/user/P4podcast.
This is the Player 4 Podcast. Join us each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth community. Player 4 has entered the game.
Welcome back to another episode of the Player 4 Podcast.
Hello. Hello. I am Tristan, a.k.a. Shagrazir, on the Rooster Teeth website.
I'm Alex, a.k.a. Chaos Black 21.
And I am Malachi, a.k.a. Suki Cuba.
And I am Jay Dunlap, a.k.a. Jay Dunlap. Wait, I'm Joseph Dunlap, a.k.a. Jay... No, I'm the dude.
Oh my god.
Welcome the dude to the podcast.
I abide.
The dude, you abide. Good. Alright, so... Welcome to the Player 4 Podcast. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit of RWBY, then we're going to talk about the newest season, or should I say the latest season of Red vs. Blue, heading into Season 14. Then we're going to take a look in the rear view and relive vicariously through Malachi as he's just watched the first season of Red vs. Blue. And then Alex is bringing back the Twitter games.
We are not reliving vicariously this time.
We're not living vicariously either.
Vicariously. Sorry.
We're throwing it back. We're throwing it back.
We're throwing it back one episode.
We're throwing it back to the beginning. That's 13 episodes. Come on, math.
Vicini said to go back to the beginning.
13 episodes.
All right.
Episodes inside of episodes.
No, shut up. Tell me about RWBY.
Yeah, what about RWBY?
RWBY Volume 1 is going to be in theaters on April 27th.
What?
They are doing it very similar to how they did with Laser Team, where you have the Tugg events, and a certain amount of tickets have to be sold in theaters for it to actually run in that theater on that day. They are not doing it to where you can start your own. Essentially, if you want it to a possibility of it coming to a theater near you, if it's not, there has to be like enough people saying that they want it in that area for them to think about putting it there. Otherwise, you can't start your own.
So you have to petition for it?
Essentially, yes. A lot of people have to petition for it, that they think that it would be doable. They would have enough people to go in that area to watch it.
Now, if they did it also, is it just all one season? It's just each season shown like in a clump? Like, how is it going to be broken up?
So it's all RWBY Volume 1 is going to be shown. Okay. That's April 27th. They are saying that RWBY Volume 2 and Volume 3 will be shown at later dates in the year.
Okay.
But for now, they're starting with RWBY Volume 1.
So get your friends together and go see RWBY Volume 1 in theaters. The tickets are now on sale at teamruby.com.
Is that actually where it is?
Yes. I'm reading it off the website right now. I'm not going to give them a link that redirects to Meatspin or anything like that.
You would never do that.
Never.
Just checking, Tristan. I mean...
But if you're Canadian, screenings go up on March 21st. Sorry, you guys gotta wait.
Hey.
No, wait. That's earlier.
What?
Wait. I think they... The U.S. ones, the tickets started earlier. The Canadians had to wait to get tickets later.
2 days ago. They had to wait until Tuesday, so too bad, you guys.
Jeez, and Barbara's the community manager. Do you think that she tried to get Canada first?
Nothing, it was extraneous information, Joseph. I'm sorry. In any event, so if you want to go see RWBY in theaters, go to teamruby.com to get your tickets today.
We need a jingle for that.
That sounded like such an ad right there.
They're not paying me for this. What? I don't know what you're hanging. I gotta count some money.
Gonna sleep on your bed of money.
Gonna swim in my pool of money.
You're getting richer by the second.
I mean, I would say Tristan would be the Scrooge McDuck of us.
Choo-choo, who wants to ride the money boat?
Choo-choo.
Mr. Engineer.
Yeah. I'm gonna be the engineer of the money boat.
Yeah, he's gonna make his own.
It's gonna be like a riverboat made out of dollar bills.
Okay.
Wait, wait, that would not bode well. We'd sink instantly.
You doubt my engineering prowess?
I doubt you could make a boat that would hold us up for a long period of time with dollar bills.
Can somebody say?
You'd be surprised.
accepted?
You'd be surprised.
Yes, accept this challenge. Go for it.
I'm gonna make a money boat, and I'm gonna float Alex down a river on it. Stay tuned for the YouTube video as he sinks.
Okay, so red versus blue?
Embrace the tangent, but yes, new Red versus Blue because season 13 was out a while ago, and soon they're going to jump into season 14.
Yes, they are working like madmen.
They are madmen. They're Rooster Teeth.
But they don't work on Madison Avenue.
Okay.
No, I don't think they do.
That's where the term madmen came from.
Okay.
Hey, knowledge drop.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Alex just did a knowledge drop. That's like the first time ever on this podcast.
It's time to leave the podcast.
And the first time Alex was right.
We're done, everyone. We have now done everything that we need to do.
The podcast is over.
We had a good run.
What's season 14 going to be running on? Because I know, didn't season 1 start off on Halo 2?
Halo 1.
Was it Halo 1?
Yeah, that was Halo 1.
Halo CE.
Not even the anniversary edition.
See.
In 2003. If you, depending on,
It's been so long since I played Halo 1.
Yeah.
I thought it was worse than that.
Halo, they didn't go over to Halo 2 until, season 3?
Yeah, season
I
3.
think so.
Until some bomb/weather thing happened.
Yeah,
It was
there was a weather event, some swamp gas.
what game were they using for the model for season 13?
They used Halo 5 for that.
They used Halo 5 for that. And you think they're going to still be using Halo 5 for season 14, or is there no hints about that yet?
Since they're already making it, and Halo 5's the latest one out, I would just imagine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a combination of Halo 5 machinima and actual animation, as always.
Yeah, a goodly portion of the later seasons, like Halo season 13, are machinimated, where they've actually animated these things themselves with their own posed models. So they're actually not filmed. Many of the scenes don't use the game at all, the game engine at all, and then a lot of the scenes will use the game engine and they'll edit in their own posed models to add effect to the scene.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, new season is Red vs. Blue, season 14. A lot of people want to know what they're going to be doing, and we do have an idea of what to expect as Red vs. Blue fans for the new season. Tristan, what can we expect for this new season? How are they going to tell this story?
Oh, vignettes. We've been talking to Rick Guerrero, who has told us that they should be doing some more vignette-style storytelling in the upcoming season, where we'll be able to see a bit of different types of storytelling from different, just authors, directors, among the RT staff, to see different stories that they want to tell within their Red vs. Blue universe, similar to Halo Legends or the Animatrix.
Describe to those who have not seen Halo Legends or Animatrix, those with bad taste and probably need to go watch those before season 14, what those were.
So it started with the Animatrix. Basically, the Matrix universe was one that became to be very well liked by a lot of different science fiction writers. So they would write original stories within the universe of the Matrix, and so they would create original characters and explore different ways different people might experience the boundary between the Matrix and reality, and the interactions between humans and the machines. And so Halo Legends, following that same suit, was lots of different animators and different writers, exploring different aspects of the Halo universe as other Spartans sent off on missions that we never got to read about or see in any of the games interact with soldiers and civilians alike, the different battles that they individually fought and the struggles that they had as characters, developing the whole universe in their own little way by starting with the created universe as their jumping off point.
Freaking Spartan 1337.
I love Spartan 1337 and his Tyrannosaurus.
That's great. That's reason enough to go watch Halo Legends right now.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go watch it now then.
Yes, you do. Spartan
He's the best
1337.
Spartan in history.
I have not seen it, so I guess I have to see it.
You
now.
do.
So people with bad taste and Alex.
Was there any
Hey.
Halo, was there any Halo movie that was just like terrible you never want to watch, or because I know I've seen a couple on Netflix, or at least one on Netflix that was a Halo themed.
Forward Unto Dawn is something that is currently on Netflix, which was a 5-part miniseries that was an introduction to the game Halo 4 that told the story of the man who would become the captain of the UNSC Infinity, which was
Captain Lasky.
Yes, Captain Lasky. So it went through his training at the Corbulo Academy and his first encounter with the Spartans, the Covenant.
Well, so was it decent, or?
I think it was. Yeah, a lot of people loved it.
Okay. Well, where would I watch this one you were just mentioning? Does it?
Halo
Legends is available on and off on Netflix, but I think you can also find it on probably one of the anime sites, like Crunchyroll.
Okay.
You know what they did add to Netflix just recently? They added the Halo Fall of Reach. That someone actually made an animation of the Halo Fall of Reach story.
That's cool.
Is this just a fan-made film, or is this official, or what?
I think it's official.
I need to see this.
Yeah, it's all animation, kind of like how like the Red versus Blue animation when they're not in the when they're not using the machinima.
You mean the pre-rendered?
Yeah.
renders?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorite Halo novels, even though it was just the first one. I liked John's progression as a character. I liked hearing about their training. I really do need to see this. Where is this?
It should be on Netflix, and I believe it has all of the people who actually voice the characters. So it's all the
Ooh.
Wait.
all the voice actors and actresses should be in there.
Wait,
Yeah, so wait. Does it follow the story of the game or the book?
I believe it's the book.
Okay, because the game is really different from the book.
Well,
No. It follows the book because I believe it has
Team
Master
Secret.
Chief.
Well,
in it.
the game does not follow the book because the game takes place during the beginning of the third novel and the end of the first book. Fall of Reach itself is the first novel, which is the story of the Spartans being trained, and ends with the Fall of Reach.
But Halo Reach, the game, took place during the Fall of Reach book time period.
It took place.
That was the same story.
The invasion took place at the end of the first novel, but we didn't see what the other Spartans were up to until the beginning of the third novel.
So the book Fall of Reach starts at the beginning of the Spartan 2 program, where they abduct the kids, they train them, they send them on missions, and at the end of the book Fall of Reach is when the Covenant invades Reach.
Yes,
And the game Halo Reach takes place during that invasion of Reach at the end of Halo Reach.
yes, and we read about most of what their mission is that they then use for Halo Reach. We read about that at the beginning of First Strike, which is the third novel. It starts by telling us what those Spartans were doing on Reach because we didn't know, because all we knew is what Chief did in the events that led him from Reach to the first Halo.
Right, but we knew that in the book Fall of Reach, you still knew that there were other Spartans fighting and dying on Reach before the Pillar of Autumn left.
Yes, what's interesting about the way that they tell the story with the novels is that they're leading us to believe that whatever mission they're trying to succeed in on Reach is a failed mission, and that we don't get to know what happened, and then they just leave. Like Master Chief gets on the Pillar of Autumn, puts one of his friends in cryo, and then they just leave. But then when we read the beginning of First Strike, that's when we see what actually happened on Reach, and we see that there was actually a mission, and that to some degree they didn't necessarily fail.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
then they added in a completely different, a completely original team to tell that story with the actual game.
Right. It was always a little confusing to me going between the book, The Fall of Reach, and the game, Halo Reach, simply because, or rather, even going from the book, The Fall of Reach, to the first game, and I know that Fall of Reach came out after the first Halo, obviously, since it was based on the story there. But it's always funny, like, you read the book, and then you go play the game, and at the beginning of the game, they give you get Cortana from Captain Keyes, and Cortana immediately, gets into your head and says, oh, the architecture of your body armor is not so different from the Pillar of Autumn, acting as though she's always been the navigational AI for the Pillar of Autumn.
Mm-hmm.
When, according to the book and then subsequent games, that's not the case at all.
Yeah, that was certainly
they had
retconned.
met each other before.
They'd met each other before, and she'd been inside his armor before, so she would have already known what his architecture looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she did know him in the intro cinematic where she says, "Sleep well."
Yeah.
And he says, "It was dark and I got to hold my breath." No, wait, that was my version of it.
Yes. Pretty sure that didn't happen in the official release.
No, it didn't. That happened in my version where Caboose was Master Chief. So, Red versus Blue. Speaking of Red versus Blue.
I was going to say, so are we going to release this embrace that we have right now?
We're embracing pretty hard.
Red vs. Blue, Season 14, as Tristan said, will be a series of vignettes, a series of short stories, each episode being its own story, I'm assuming. Maybe they'll get creative with it and, like, have parts 1 and 2 of a story that goes long and just have that be 2 episodes, who knows? What we do know is that Miles is a mastermind when it comes to his story. The story of Red vs. Blue, as we've seen it following the end of Season 10, has been his baby. It's been his thing that he's been developing. He's had all these working parts, so who knows how far in advance he's had these vignettes planned, right? So the idea is that he probably has every bit of story kind of planned out to some degree, even if he lets somebody go a little bit nuts with their creativity. He wants to make sure they hit certain points, probably, that they get a character from point A to point B, perhaps, even if they do like the Animatrix and Halo Legends, where it's a different style of storytelling, maybe a different style of animation. What matters maybe to Miles is, well, we need Caboose to do this thing, or we need Caboose to end up here, and it's very possible in that he even thought of having 2-parters, maybe even overlap between stories, who knows? I would like to liken this to something that none of you have a frame of reference for, if I may.
Well, we'll allow it.
Okay. As an avid Magic the Gathering player, yeah, that's the start. I used to, when I first started playing Magic, and they included their novels in the fat packs, but now you have to buy them separately, I would read the novels. And there was an interesting storyline. If you want to read it, it's actually a good read. It's called Lorwyn, Lorwyn. It's a 2-part story, and the way that they used to do their structure of sets coming out would be in groups of 3. They would call that a block. Well, Lorwyn came out in 2 parts of 2. And it was a world that was like classic fantasy, like D&D. There were goblins, there were elves, there were Kithkin, which were like, they kind of stayed in their communities, and they kind of had a conscious, like, a hive mind kind of thing going. But they were short, like hobbits, sort of. All these different races, like elementals and trees even, had their own little community. Well, the story of the novel led you through this story of this elf who ceased to become physically perfect because of a scar or something that happened to him, and that is a crime worthy of death to the elves, to not be perfect. So he's being hunted, and then he's got this own goal that he's trying to do. But the world itself has seasons that people aren't aware of, because when the season changes, they lose their memory, and then everyone changes personality. They all go from being these elitist jerks to being avatars of justice, for example. And the Kithkin go from having this sense of community to a sense of xenophobia, which is kind of along the same vein as community in some ways. The story progresses through the first 2 novels, and then it just stops because some characters have been talking about the season's going to change, the season's going to change, and nobody knows what they're talking about. And then it changes, and it goes from Lorwyn to a place called Shadowmoor. The novel for Shadowmoor, the reason I'm talking about this in the first place, is a series of vignettes. It's a series of short stories, because everything's just been plunged into just chaos, and it goes into like a dark age, sort of. Nobody knows what's what, everyone's sticking to themselves, and I thought it was really interesting the way that they did that. Getting to a point in the story, and then stopping all sense of story arc, and then just telling these little short stories to demonstrate what the world feels like right now. And perhaps that's what Miles is doing with Red vs. Blue. He's got us to this big climactic point. They send a message to such and such person at the end of the season that they're going to do such and such, so we can avoid spoilers for those who have not caught up yet.
Like me.
Yeah, like you, like obviously Malachi, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. But now we're at a point where Miles wants to tell a scattered story, I think. That's my prediction, is that the reason for the vignettes is because there's going to be a lot of scatter in the story, that people are going to go their own direction, maybe with their own goals in mind, and maybe with a character orchestrating things like Miles would be. Who knows? Maybe there's an overarching goal that everyone's going to different places to kind of work towards, and maybe we'll see the fruition of that either at the end of the season or in season 15, who knows? That's kind of what I think might be the direction it's going. What do you guys think about that?
I can't say because I'm not caught up, so I don't know what they've already touched base on.
Well, that's the thing. All you need to know is that there was a climactic ending, an anticlimax, as it were, at like a cliffhanger. But now we know that they can't bring that cliffhanger to fruition if they're going to do a bunch of short stories. So my idea is that perhaps they're just going to be planning and doing all these side missions, planning.
What about, did they already cover, like, backstory kind of stuff with each character? Like, gave them, like, stuff before they started with what they were?
Well, there are some seasons that are flashback. They have a lot of flashback.
Okay, so they did cover some.
I like your idea that there could be some continuation of backstory. That's very well... What do you guys think about that? That's very possible.
Season 9 was one of my favorites just because of all of the freelancer flashbacking. Just all the little stories of the different missions that the freelancers went on so that we could see their personality as they got to know each other, as they got to know the program they were in, and then as they were introduced to AI, that was one of the most fun seasons to me, was Season 9. Season 8 and 9.
Yeah, it seems kind of like it might be either like that, with people going on their own missions, splitting up, which would be, I think you guys said it was like the beginning of season 3, because I actually had forgotten what season that was, where everyone went through the portal and it took them to different places. Or maybe it's like what Malachi said, it might be some backstory, or maybe it's a mix. Maybe one episode will be a backstory, we can finally find out why Caboose is so good at fighting, and then another episode is such and such off on a mission at present time. Who knows?
Well, let's not forget that when you do vignettes like these, when you've got a universe, a lot of times when you do a vignette in this style, you're doing it in order to expand the universe, make the universe feel as big as you're trying to envision it being. So you start to tell the stories of like plot-specific characters. And a lot of the books I read, the majority of the book is following a few plot-specific characters going through the plot. And then there'll be interludes in between, every few chapters, there'll be an interlude, and you'll jump into a completely unrelated person in another part of the world, and you get to see this other part of the world through their eyes, and you get to understand there are other cultures, there are other people, there are other problems going on, and they still can tie into the main story in some, the interludes always tie in some way, whether it's just introducing an element that might come up in the main plot later, whether it's seeing how there are other forces at work and how they act tangentially but will eventually intersect the main plot. And that's how these vignettes are often used in the books that I've been reading.
I like that. That sounds really awesome. They could develop an entire other area, another group of characters, or even just another character. Really, honestly, even one character would be cool, that then might play into the story later, or won't play into the story, but some plot element of some kind plays into the story later that they're trying to develop for us.
It could be like a character that we've seen for only a second that just seen the situation.
Captain Flowers.
I don't remember. I don't know all
he hasn't gotten to Captain Flowers yet.
Yeah, you'll get to.
So I rewatched season 1 for the first time, again, and for a long time. And I've seen all of it.
Alex, what does that mean?
Relive vicariously.
It's reliving vicariously.
Reliving vicariously.
So the point to what we were saying with the episode, you know how they called Mother Base the blue side, Church did, and they were asking. No, wait, was it? They're asking for more men.
Yes.
And
how long you been out there, man?
So you could say, like, we could view the universe from that guy's eyes, like, they're asking this, or he already knew everything was going on, and he's laughing at their silliness that they're doing down there,
Vic.
Yeah, you could view the world from, like, a minor character.
If it weren't for the fact that Vic hasn't been in the story for quite a long time, it'd be really cool for them to explore some more about Vic. I just don't think they intend to do anything more with Vic. I think he's out of the story by now because we're out of the Blood Gulch Chronicles, which is the first 5 seasons.
Vic was the bridge between the events of the Blood Gulch Chronicles and the realization that they were part of a larger operation.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It was funny that... sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, for the reminiscing on the first season was just this... It's fun to listen to Red vs. Blue again after not playing Halo for so long and just remembering all the fun things. Like when Caboose got in the tank for the first time and was shooting at all the other guys and them just running like, oh my god! And it's like that fun feel when you're playing Halo and someone's in a tank and you're like, oh god, it's gonna shoot me, oh god, run.
Except at least in that, back in Halo 1, you could kill them by, once again, sticking a grenade on them.
Or a rocket lawn chair.
A rocket lawn chair?
You've never heard that?
Rocket-propelled lawn chair.
Yeah, rocket-propelled lawn chair?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those? They're all the rage.
You put a
I
grenade
didn't know
on
that
them.
there was some in Halo, though.
It's called a spanker.
It's not called a spanker in the newer games.
Oh! I heard about that, actually. Okay, I think it's time for us to relive vicariously through Malachi's experiences. Malachi, what did you enjoy about Season 1? What was your favorite thing about Season 1? Maybe a scene, maybe an overall feel, maybe a character? What was it?
Probably the common character that everyone probably likes a lot, with Caboose and just his, like, silliness that he is as a character.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Because it's like... He brings the chaos to the story, which is just fun. Of course, since it was in its younger years, it's mildly slow paced, a lot of clever jokes. It's also fun how it points out the obvious facts about like the Halo game, like to put the boundary on the map for Blood Gulch, it was just a box canyon, and they make that just like, why are we here? Why are we guarding this freaking place?
I like
We
that.
could just let them leave.
I like that the inherent problem when making a story in a box canyon is the fact that it doesn't make any sense for them to be fighting over it in the first place. It just so happens to be one of the best places for them to do a machinima-style story of 2 armies fighting, is just to stick them in that box canyon where there's a base on either side, but they are very quick, like first episode quick, to point out that it's the dumbest idea is for them to be fighting over this canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Big whoop-de-doo about whether they have 1 base or 2 bases in a box canyon nobody wants.
So that was a really nice feel about the first season, is it had that clever, fun humor that you talk about with your friends, you know? And it was a lot of fun.
You make a good point, actually. Early
awesome.
Red vs. Blue feels a lot like what it might be like for you and your friends to first experience Halo.
Mm-hmm.
The little adventures when you're finally done with the Slaughterfest and you're just kind of in the game and then you're just kind of watching each other and waiting for the other one to make the first move starts to feel like Red vs. Blue to some extent.
I was thinking of it like if you got your friends together to play Halo and then you didn't fight, you just walked around the map and chatted about stuff. These are the kinds of things you would point out about the game or the map or each other if that were the case.
You go the whole time saying, I'm totally going to kill them eventually, but I want to watch them. And so you're kind of in a little campy area and you've got your sniper rifle and you're watching them and they're like, are you watching us again? And you're like, you're just spying on them. And so the guy next to you is like, what are they doing? They're just standing and talking. What are they doing now? That's exactly what would happen.
Mm-hmm. And of course, everyone sucks with the sniper rifle.
No, just church.
Just church.
You are that thing.
Well, what I like, one thing I like is how the voices that they have some of the characters have in season 1 and like 2, like gradually change a little bit and become like almost like essentially more like, I wouldn't say professional, but like Sarge, for example, he doesn't sound like what he does now compared to what he did back in season 1 and 2, and Caboose is the same way.
Refined would be a word. I would also say maybe they became more caricatured. Sarge and Caboose did.
Yeah.
They started off more just like Sarge is the guy in charge, so he's got kind of a gruff voice. Caboose is the new guy, so he sounds kind of dumb. But then as they started to develop
He
the
is
characters. Yeah, he is kind of dumb.
Am
I
I
was
talking
just
to the
saying, it's
right
like-
face?
No, it's just the funny part that you guys said that he could fight, because I don't think I've watched much past, like, I think I just touched season 3 back in the day, and I don't ever remember Caboose kicking butt. So when you said that, I was like, what?
He does it a few times.
Just watch.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
watch.
if you got to season 3, you probably saw the flag zealots.
I don't remember that at all.
Anyway,
So,
Caboose...
like,
Kill the
yeah.
rats! Kill the rats! Kill the rats!
We must protect this house! We must protect this house!
Anyway, Caboose, in early seasons wasn't necessarily brain damaged, which maybe that change was made because he was in fact brain damaged at one point in the story. I mean, they did erase his memory
Wink, wink,
of
nudge, nudge.
something.
Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
So, I mean, maybe that's what pushed him over the edge of insanity, because early on he was just a dumb recruit, you know. The general stopped by and picked up the flag.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, to be fair, they told him the general did not look like them.
It's true. He did exactly what he was told. He just lacked the deductive reasoning to think that maybe that was a red.
My dad always says, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
There it is. I was waiting for it. Did you just call my girlfriend a cow?
No, dude, I just called her a slut.
Oh, that was a great one, too.
So Malachi's favorite character is Caboose. I think most people's favorite character is Caboose, although I'm also partial to Sarge, honestly.
My favorite character is Tucker.
Is it?
I'd actually have to say my favorite is Church.
I'm not going to juggle your Switch.
I'm not wiggling
Just
your
wiggle
dongle.
it.
What are you guys doing over there?
My
Nothing.
favorite.
Man, at least you can sense
Go ahead, Malachi.
My opinion might change as I watch more seasons, but as in season 1, I think Caboose is a very strong character. Although I did like Sarge when they were naming the Warhog. He's like, I like the name Warhog because it's better than whatever the actual number
Puma.
was. I forget the details.
Oh, the LRV
No,
something. What is it, Tristan? You've got to know this.
the M12 LRV.
Yeah, I knew you knew it.
Because M12 LRV is really difficult to say in casual conversation, son.
Point taken, sir.
But no,
I think it looks like a puma. You see these two toe hooks? They look like tusks. And what kind of animal has tusks?
a walrus.
Didn't I just say to stop making up animals?
Simmons, I want you to poison Griff's next meal.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
No, did he
Malachi.
say that the first one was just he was slit his throat in his sleep?
Malachi, I wanted to bring something up, and I wanted to see your opinion on it, having just watched season 1 for essentially the first time, honestly. They originally were only going to do a handful of episodes, just like 5 or so. Was it 6?
There were 6.
It was 6, okay. And then they were having so much fun and people were engaging with it so much that they decided they'd keep going with it. So what did you think of the development of the story in the first season and where it ended up?
I think as they were making it, it flowed pretty well to where it didn't seem like it wanted to end. It's kind of like, I don't see where they would have ended it if they were only planning on doing 6. So
Also think about the fact that they had originally said that the 2 new recruits, Caboose and Donut, they were planning on killing off.
Oh.
But everyone loved them, and so they decided to keep them on.
the church died.
I didn't remember that story, but what I did remember was that it was originally supposed to end at episode 6, which ends with Church dying. That was supposed to be the end of Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
Really?
I could have seen that.
Yeah, that was the story I remember them telling on the website.
So the climax of their story was Sheila firing at everything and the Warthog being blown up, and then Church dies, and that's the end?
Yeah, I mean, I'm certain that they must have rewritten it a bit, because it must have been decided before that episode, at least by one episode, that wasn't going to be the end, because it still felt like a cliffhanger a little bit at the end of that episode, like it was supposed to each time, but that was, according to one of the journals I read many years ago, that was like when they first started Red vs. Blue, that was where it was originally planned to end. It was just going to be a 6-episode miniseries. It's like, tells the story of these 6 assholes who don't like each other, and then it ends with one of them, killing his own teammate.
I'm glad that they didn't proceed to end it there. But I could see that as being a logical stopping point if that was their intention all along, was to have this climactic scene where the new recruit just goes full on idiot and kills one of his teammates, and the warthog gets blown up.
Full idiot.
You never go full.
But yeah,
caboose.
so right.
Why are there 6 pedals when there's only 4?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, so that was supposed to be the thing, whereas you have all these episodes where it's almost like it's building up to a big fight, and this whole time there's no shooting, no fighting going on, and then when the series finally ends, it ends with a single death, and it was a team kill. It's supposed to be like that, ironic thing.
Yeah, so to answer your question, it had a very nice flow, and it did well. And like I said, it was very light. It seemed like it was like friends playing a game and doing silly, crazy stuff.
Why in the hell would you give someone CPR for a bullet wound in the head?
Oh, Tristan, you bring up something I want to talk about at length, but not today.
Okay.
When you talk about bullet wound to the head and CPR, it makes me think of my Halo theory that I'm going to, at some point, divulge to everyone, but not today, because it's time for us to play the game that Alex has for us. Take it away, Alex.
Yes, we haven't played Twitter games in a while, so I am bringing Twitter games back with a version of Explain a Film Plot Badly.
I was really hoping you were going to say with a vengeance, but okay.
So, to play this game, to refresh everyone's memory, I found some things on Twitter, which technically someone on Rooster Teeth, a friend of mine, posted, and it's people explain a film plot badly, like as if they weren't really paying attention to it, and so they come up with this really bad explanation. And so I'm going to read each explanation, and you guys need to choose what your buzzer sounds are going to be, so you can ring in and guess what the movie is that I am trying to explain.
Buzzer sounds, huh?
We have to come up with our buzzer sounds.
Tristan, I got yours.
What's that?
Boop. Boop.
All right, I'll
Cheater.
Boop.
Okay, so Tristan's boop. This is the first time that Joseph has gotten to take part in the game. Usually he's the one who does the reading.
Yeah, so I've got to come up with a sound for myself.
You can be hey sugar bump bump. So it doesn't guarantee the last bump.
Shut up.
I could say bleep bloop.
There you go.
There you go, taking my bleep bloop. Okay.
I'll take the bleep bloop. I'll bring it back.
I'll say gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, Phoenix Wright.
This is a great time for us to go full on robot.
Okay, so the first Explain a Film Plot Badly is American invades foreign land, kills local leadership, struggles to find exit strategy. American invades foreign land, kills local leadership, struggles to find exit strategy.
Who?
Go ahead, Tristan.
Zero Dark 30.
That is incorrect. I could give you a hint.
Sure.
You explain this plot really badly.
It is an older movie that starts out black and white and turns to color.
Oh, jeez.
So you're talking about
Yeah.
bleep bloop.
Go ahead, Joseph.
You're talking about what is it?
Make sure it's not on the tip of your tongue when you play the button.
Oh my gosh.
It is on the tip of my tongue. Oh,
Get it off.
get it off. Someone else can buzz in while I'm trying to think of it, I guess.
Everything else knows.
Just get negative points.
Oh, I know exactly what it is.
No, we did the negative points once before. We're not going there again.
Like, if I tell you what I know about it, would that count?
You have to technically name the film. If you describe it, you might help the other two.
Wizard of Oz.
That is correct.
Oh.
I just thought of it.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give that.
Okay.
Jeff.
So Joseph has 1 point.
Cha-ching.
Number 2. A billionaire devotes his fortune to cosplay and beating up the mentally
bloop.
ill.
Gotcha.
Joseph got it first.
Batman.
I was being...
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. It's It has a picture of the Dark Knight, but
it's like every Batman origin story there is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-0 to nothing. Number 3.
I was being polite and waiting for him to finish talking before I said boop.
Girl has to pretend she's a man to be taken seriously.
Bleep bloop.
Joseph?
Milan.
That is correct. He is kicking your guys'
That's okay.
It is.
I don't know the movie trivia, so I'm just doing the best I can.
That is
This
a
might
movie
be-
starring Mina Wen from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Now in.
This might be a little difficult for you guys. I might have to give you some hints. A guy learns to love a girl without her Instagram filters.
What?
For Instagram filters.
That is weird wording because I know it's not about Instagram.
It's
Yes,
prob-
it is not about Instagram.
It's probably just to say that he got to know her before he actually met her and fell in love with her before that. Say it again. The
A
question.
guy learns to love a girl without her Instagram filters.
Oh, got to truly know her.
I can give you a hint. It's a movie by Pixar.
Okay.
I think it's by
Oh, it's
Pixar.
Pixar.
It's an animated movie. It's an animated movie.
It could be DreamWorks, could be Pixar, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Who?
Go ahead, Tristan.
Shrek?
That is correct.
Yeah!
That is
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, that is very true. Okay.
Next one. It's 3-1 to 0. Okay. Small town
That's
doctor
good.
brings 3 people closer together.
Hmm.
I'm not good at this game.
Small town doctor brings 3 people closer together.
So it's a small town.
Ah, boop.
Tristan,
Human centipede.
you are correct.
Why?
That's horrible.
Why?
I went, oh, right beforehand.
3-2 to 0. Next question. 4 kids come out of the closet.
Boop. Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chronicles of Narnia, specifically what?
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes. And
I
it's
knew what
tied
it
up now,
was.
3-3-0.
But Tristan got it first.
Okay. Boy spends 7 years being a third wheel.
What?
I like it.
7 years being a third wheel. Hmm.
They're always movies.
Yes, these are always movies. Boy spends 7 years being third wheel.
Beep bloop. Bleep bloop.
Joseph.
Harry Potter.
Yes.
Oh.
Nice.
Harry is the third wheel the whole entire time, essentially.
That's right.
7 years was the hint.
Yeah, you don't really think of it that way.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even think of it that way.
7 years was the hint.
Yes.
Alright. A lot of people take the ice bucket challenge. It doesn't end well.
Huh.
Boop.
Tristan?
Ice Age.
That is incorrect. A lot of people take the ice bucket challenge. It doesn't end well.
Might be a horror flick.
Could be a comedy.
Comedy, yeah.
Hmm.
They don't do it willingly, I will give you that.
They don't willingly dump cold water on their own heads, and it doesn't end well.
Boop.
Tristan?
Saw.
That is also incorrect.
Fine. I don't know.
I know it's made to sound like
Yeah.
Saw, certainly.
It is not an actual ice bucket challenge, but it does involve cold water.
Mhm.
That's what I'm thinking.
On their heads. It'd have to be on their heads for it to be the Ice Bucket Challenge.
On all of their body.
People being dunked in cold water? Give us a hint.
Sir, closer. They do get dunked /
Oh, wait a minute. Boop.
Tristan.
Titanic.
That is correct.
Oh, jeez. Really?
Oh, why did I think of that?
This is not explain a film plot badly.
It is.
You're really bad at explaining film plots.
Yeah, what part of the title do you not understand?
This is the last time I have
It's only-
Scumbag Steve watch the movie for me.
There's only 2 more.
Okay.
That reminds me of the last time we did one of these Twitter games, and I think Alex was Scumbag Steve.
Yeah.
I think we tied.
You were Scumbag Steve because of your counting.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, so it's tied up. It's 4-4 to 0 right now, with 2 left. Neglected sociopathic child tries to murder 2 homeless men.
Bleep bloop.
Joseph.
It is the remake of Die Hard with a child, which is Home Alone.
Yeah.
I like your description. That is correct.
As soon as he said bleep bloop, I realized it was Home Alone. I was not expecting this description.
Okay, for the last question, can Malachi get on the board? Can Tristan tie it up?
No.
Deadbeat dad tries to get his son to take over the family business.
Huh.
Boop.
Tristan?
Iron Man? He's dead.
That is incorrect.
Damn you.
Deadbeat dad.
It is a very, very popular series.
Series.
Well, series of movies,
Multiple,
not
yeah,
a TV series, right?
No, it's
Yeah,
movies.
it's a series of movies, yes.
Okay.
Bleep bloop.
Joseph.
I want to see if anyone else can think of it first.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Because usually when I say bleep bloop, Tristan thinks of it.
Immediately thinks of it and can't have it. No, it's okay.
Star Wars.
No, I can't.
Ding, 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 ding. Joseph is the winner.
There you go.
Wow.
It's Star Wars.
So do I get like a dunce hat for not getting any points?
Well, if Tristan or Joseph or whoever works on the video wants to give you a dunce cap, they will give you a dunce cap.
I think Tristan gets extra points for thinking of Human Centipede and Titanic.
The Human Centipede one was so bad.
Extra points, okay. He gets 3 extra points. Tristan wins.
When I realized the Human Centipede one, I just went,
I was thinking like, I don't know, I was thinking like an actual small town doctor movie, and I have not watched Human Centipede on purpose.
Originally, I had been thinking, like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh,
but then
yeah.
I went, that's way too wholesome. This has to be a deeper brings people closer. No.
Yeah, and see the concept of how he brings them together, I thought that Clerks 2 established that you can't do that. And I'm leaving it at that.
I like being the game show host. That was fun.
You're still gonna be scumbag, Steve.
Aww.
So,
Can't escape it.
what are we doing next week?
Next week, we're podcasting?
Yes.
Alright, I win!
The
I'm going
same
home.
thing we do
have
every
a
week.
Special guest.
Yes, special guest Shoban is going to come back, and we're doing a special thing with Shoban. What's that special thing?
Table reading.
Tablet reading. We're going to read a tablet.
I've never read a tablet.
A tablet.
And we're also hopefully going to be doing season 2 Reliving Vicariously.
Hopefully. Malachi?
No, we will be.
Okay.
Okay.
We will
He
be.
is geared up on this. He's ready to go.
And
I
remember,
missed
Malachi,
it was fun to rewatch.
remember you can pace yourself on that. You can do half a season each week if you want, and we can spread it out, or we can do an entire season.
We'll do entire seasons because that's 13 seasons though too. So
Yeah, that'll take us up to RTX.
so it'll be quite a few episodes.
RTX.
All right.
Yes, we await news about RTX, and that's all I'm saying. So,
Thank you for listening to our podcast, everybody.
thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me again, guys. I don't have friends.
None of us.
We
do.
know.
That's
We
why
feel sorry
podcast.
for you.
I'm that guy.
We took time away from our many, many friends to hang out with Joseph.
I'm that guy everyone feels sorry for, so they let me pretend I'm recording a podcast.
We just let him think that he's doing something.
I'm sitting
fun.
here at the computer talking to guys, and I keep pretending it's a podcast, but it never actually, like, nobody's actually editing or recording.
His wife and kids come knock on the door like, honey, it's time for dinner. Hold on, I'm recording a podcast with my friends.
It's a sick
We're
podcast.
almost done.
I'm recording my
What he doesn't-
podcast.
What he doesn't know is that we all kind of a plan, like kind of figured what he would say, and that all of us are just recordings.
No, the plot twist is that it's all in my head. I'm sitting here in a dark room. It's not dark, actually, but I'm sitting in a dark room talking to a microphone.
The computer's not even on.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually have a computer. He's just got like a cardboard box.
That makes me think of the ending of Agent
Inside it.
Carter. I hope we'll get to talk about that soon.
Guys, we came here to embrace tangents and talk topics, and we're all out of topics.
Guess that means it's time to go home.
It's time to chew bubblegum. Wait, I'm
time.
all out of gum.
I'm all out of
You're all done bringing people together?
Yeah, I really hope we're done bringing people together.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Malachi.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Oh, that was sweet. This is the part where I say I was going to fart.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, I do remember.